My husband spent the day after our son's birth taking his other son from a previous relationship to the London Eye, having a beer, and playing Xbox, while I was recovering from a severe postpartum hemorrhage and our newborn was fighting for his life in the NICU. I'm your host on mindsnap, where the drama never ends. She found out that her husband had collected his son from a previous relationship, Greg, just 2 days after giving birth to their own son, who was born with a serious heart condition and was admitted to the NICU. I mean, you'd think that would be a time when the whole family comes together to support each other, right? But no, her husband decided to take Greg on a fun-filled day out in London, complete with a trip to the London Eye and a casual beer. Okay, I need to pause here. What kind of person does that when their newborn is in the hospital and their partner is recovering from a traumatic birth? The wife had just given birth, lost 1.8 liters of blood, and had emergency surgery to remove her placenta. She was still recovering, trying to navigate the postnatal ward, and visiting her critically ill newborn in the NICU. Her husband, on the other hand, thought it was a great idea to spend the day with his other son, leaving his wife to fend for herself. No, wait. This is not what I expected. I thought for sure he'd be by her side, supporting her through this incredibly difficult time. But instead, he was out having the time of his life with his other son. I literally could not believe this when I read it. The wife was shocked and upset when she found out what her husband had been up to. She wasn't upset that Greg had visited, but she was upset that her husband had left her alone all day, without any support, when she needed him most. She explained to him that she wasn't expecting to be left alone, and that she needed him to be a husband to her and a father to their newborn during this medical emergency. But her husband became defensive, saying that he was just being a parent to Greg. Hello? Your wife just gave birth to a critically ill baby, and you're worried about being a parent to your other son? Get your priorities straight, dude. The wife tried to explain to him how serious her blood loss had been, but his response was, "My sister lost 5. What does that even mean? Is he trying to one-up her or something? Like, okay, your sister lost more blood, but that doesn't change the fact that your wife is recovering from a traumatic birth and needs your support." The next day, the wife told her husband that the doctors had found another abnormality with their son's heart. But he complained that nobody had told him. Maybe that's because you were too busy taking your other son to the cinema to bother visiting your newborn in the NICU. I mean, come on. The wife pointed out that he'd only spent about 20 minutes in the NICU, and that's why he didn't know about the new development. At this point, the wife had had enough. She told her husband that paternity leave isn't supposed to be a holiday, and that she doesn't feel supported. She said that if this is what his paternity leave looks like, she'd almost rather he went back to work because at least then she'd understand why she was doing everything alone. Ouch. I don't blame her one bit. His response was that he's trying to balance both children, but honestly, it sounds like he's just trying to balance his own desires and hobbies. Someone posted online, seeking advice on whether they were in the wrong for telling their husband that paternity leave isn't a holiday. And let me tell you, the responses were fierce. Some people were team wife all the way, saying that her husband was being incredibly selfish and unsupportive. Others were team husband, saying that he's just trying to be a good dad to both of his kids. But honestly, I think it's pretty clear who's in the wrong here. I mean, when your partner is recovering from a traumatic birth and your newborn is fighting for their life, you need to be there for them. You need to be supportive and present and helpful. You can't just abandon them to go on a fun-filled adventure with your other kid. That's not what being a husband and father is about. No. The wife is exhausted and terrified to leave her baby in the NICU. She's doing everything alone, while her husband is off having the time of his life. It's just not right. Okay, I need to pause again, because I'm just so angry on behalf of this wife. How could her husband be so insensitive and selfish? Doesn't he care that his wife is struggling to recover from a traumatic birth, and that their newborn is critically ill? It's just shocking to me that he would prioritize his own desires and hobbies over his wife's needs and their baby's well-being. I literally could not believe this when I read it. The wife deserves so much better than a husband who would abandon her in her time of need. She deserves a partner who will support her and care for her and help her through the tough times. So, was the wife in the wrong for telling her husband that paternity leave isn't a holiday? Absolutely not. She was right to call him out on his selfish behavior and to tell him that she needs his support. Drop your verdict below. Was this person right or wrong? Subscribe and hit the bell.